Ryan, slow down. Please.
I'm fine. It's late, not dangerous.
Gripping the steering wheel. It's late, not dangerous. Mark's words from earlier echoed in my head. You're the backbone of this company, Ryan. Don't ever forget that. I smiled then. I believed him. Laura sighed. You've been working nonstop. Even tonight you couldn't stay home. I'm doing this for us, I said. For our future. For us? She repeated softly. The road was empty. Streetlights blurred past the windshield. I felt proud. Tired but proud. 32 years old, senior project manager, married to the woman I loved. My life made sense. My phone buzzed. Laura glanced at it. Don't answer. It's Mark, I said. Probably about tomorrow's meeting. At midnight, she snapped. Ryan, it can wait. I hesitated. That was the moment. If I had ignored the call, everything might be different. Just a second, I said. The headlights came out of nowhere. Ryan. Laura screamed. Metal shrieked. Glass exploded. The world flipped. My body slammed forward, then sideways, then nothing made sense. Pain flashed white and then vanished. I tried to breathe. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel my hands. Laura? I tried to say. My mouth didn't move. I heard her crying. Help. Please, somebody help. Sirens wailed in the distance. I wanted to reach for her. I wanted to tell her I was here. Stay with me, sir, a man said. Can you hear me? Yes, I thought. I can hear you. But my lips stayed sealed. His pulse is weak, another voice said. Get him on the stretcher. Cold air hit my face. Bright lights burned my eyes. I wanted to close them, but they wouldn't move. Ryan, Laura sobbed. Please don't leave me. I'm not leaving, I screamed inside my head. I'm right here. The ambulance doors slammed shut. Severe head trauma, a woman said. Possible spinal injury. Everything faded in and out. Sound stretched. Voices echoed. Call Mark, Laura said suddenly. He needs to know. Mark's voice came through the phone, calm and steady. I'm on my way. I'll take care of everything, Laura. You focus on Ryan. Those words wrapped around me like a promise. The hospital smelled sharp and clean. Machines beeped around me. Sir, squeeze my hand, a doctor said. I tried. Nothing happened. Ryan, my mother's voice cried. Oh God, my baby. I'm here, I begged silently. I'm still here. Brain activity is present, someone said. But he's unresponsive. What does that mean? Laura asked. It means we wait, the doctor replied. Time slowed. Then it stopped. I floated somewhere dark. I heard voices like they were underwater. 10 minutes without response, a man said. Prepare the family, another answered. No, Laura said. He's strong. He'll wake up. I held on to that. I clung to her faith. Then everything went quiet. I woke up. I knew I was awake because I could think. I could hear. I could feel fear crawling through me. But I couldn't move. Mr. Walker, a nurse said gently. Can you hear me? Yes, I screamed. Nothing. Panic swallowed me whole. I tried to blink. I tried to scream. I tried to move a finger. My body ignored me. He's in a coma, a doctor said. But there's brain activity. A coma. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to cry. I was alive. Trapped. Laura squeezed my hand. I'm here, Ryan. I won't leave you. I believed her. I believed everyone. I didn't know that this was the last moment my old life existed. I was still breathing. But the world had already moved on without me. Talk to him, the doctor said. Sometimes they hear more than we think. Laura leaned close. Ryan, it's me. Please wake up. We were supposed to go to the lake next week. You promised. I remember, I thought. I remember everything. My father's voice broke. Son, if you can hear me, fight. I'm fighting, I said inside. I swear I am. Mark arrived later. I recognized his voice instantly. Ryan, he said softly. You scared us, man. I wanted to punch him. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to tell him I was still here. Don't worry, Mark continued. I'll handle the company. I'll make sure Laura is taken care of. Laura whispered, Thank you, Mark. Those words cut deeper than the crash. Hours passed. Or days. I couldn't tell. His condition is stable, a nurse said. Stable felt like a lie. I wasn't living. I wasn't dying. I was suspended. Night came. The room grew quiet. Laura kissed my forehead. I love you. I love you too, I said even though no sound came out. Her footsteps faded. The door closed. I was alone with my thoughts. That was when I understood the truth. I wasn't asleep. I wasn't gone. I was trapped inside my own body, screaming into silence, waiting for a world that might never hear me again. Fear became my only companion as darkness settled, and I realized this nightmare had just begun. Forever. I woke up to voices. Heart rate steady, a nurse said. Blood pressure holding, another replied. I wanted to answer. I wanted to ask where I was. My mouth didn't move. Mr. Walker, can you hear me? A man asked. Yes, I screamed inside my head. I can hear you. Nothing came out. Still unresponsive, the man said. Document it. Panic hit me hard. I tried to lift my arm. I tried to turn my head. I tried to blink. My body didn't listen. Ryan? A familiar voice whispered. Laura. I'm here, she said. I'm right here. Relief washed over me. I'm here too, I thought. Please hear me. Her fingers wrapped around my hand. I felt the warmth, but I couldn't squeeze back. They say you might hear me, Laura said. So I'm going to talk, okay? I held on to every word like air. I don't know what I'd do without you, she continued, voice shaking. You're too stubborn to leave me like this. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to cry. You always said you'd protect me, Laura whispered. So wake up and prove it. Hours passed. Or maybe minutes. Time didn't make sense anymore. She's been here all day, a nurse said quietly. She loves him, another replied. I wanted to scream that I loved her more. Days blended together. Voices changed. The room stayed the same. Turn him, a nurse said. Careful, another answered. He's fragile. I wasn't fragile. I was trapped. He doesn't respond to pain, a doctor said one day. Vegetative state, another voice replied. That word crushed me. I wanted to shout, I'm not a thing. I'm still me. Laura came back later. Her voice sounded tired. They used that word today, she said softly. But I know they're wrong. I clung to that hope. I talked to Mark, Laura added. He says the company is stable. Mark. Ryan built half of it, Laura said. Mark promised he won't let anyone forget that. I trusted Mark. I always had. Ryan, Mark said the next time he visited. You scared everyone. I wanted to tell him I was still scared. Laura needs support, Mark continued. So I'll help however I can. Thank you, Laura whispered. I felt grateful. I felt safe. Weeks passed. Or months. Morning sunshine, a nurse joked one day. If only you could answer. I answered in my head every time. Yes. No. I'm still here. Laura kept coming. She talked about work, about bills, about missing my voice. I hate sleeping alone, she said once. The bed feels wrong. I'm right here, I thought. I'm still with you. Sometimes she cried. Sometimes she sat in silence. I read your emails today, Laura said one afternoon. You worked so hard. Pride filled me. That was still me. I don't know how long I can be strong, Laura admitted. But I'm trying. So am I told her inside. Mark visited more often. His voice was calm, confident. Everything's under control, Mark said. You focus on healing. I believed him. Ryan always trusted you, Laura said to Mark. And I won't betray that, Mark replied. Time kept slipping. 6 months, a doctor said. No improvement. Laura gasped. So what now? We wait, the doctor answered. Waiting became my whole life. Laura's visits changed. She talked less. She checked her phone more. I have to go early today, she said once. I'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow came slower. Some days she didn't come at all. Family busy? A nurse asked gently. Laura sighed. Life doesn't stop, does it? No, the nurse replied. It doesn't. I felt something breaking inside me. When Laura did visit, her hand felt distant. Her voice sounded practiced. I'm sorry, she said one night. I'm just so tired. I know, I thought. But please don't leave. Mark filled the silence more often. I'll sit with him, Mark said. You should rest. Thank you, Laura replied. Their footsteps faded together. I lay there, awake, listening to machines breathe for me. I promised myself one thing in the quiet. I will wake up, I thought. No matter how long it takes. But as Laura's visits grew shorter and her voice faded from my days, fear whispered a darker truth. I might wake up to a world that no longer waits for me. Laura's voice was the first calendar I lost. Hey baby, Laura used to say soft and close. I'm here. I waited for that word every visit. One day she said, Ryan? Just my name. No baby. No warmth wrapped around it. I talked to the bank today, Laura said another time. The bills keep stacking up. I wanted to say, I'll fix it. I couldn't. The house feels empty, Laura continued. Too quiet. I screamed inside, I'm right here. Silence answered me. David's voice came next, loud and angry. You don't get to give up on him. Susan cried. He's still breathing, Laura. Laura snapped back. Breathing isn't living. That hurt more than any word before. He's your husband, David said. You made vows. I didn't sign up to be alone forever, Laura replied. Forever. That word echoed for days. Doctors came and went. 3 years, one said quietly. No progress. Susan whispered, miracles happen. Laura sighed. Hope doesn't pay rent. Mark's voice joined the room more often. I can help, Mark said. Ryan would want that. He would, Laura answered. I believed Mark. I trusted him. I'll handle the accounts, Mark continued. Less stress for you. Thank you, Laura said. I'm drowning. I hated that I couldn't lift her out. Laura's visits shortened. I can only stay 10 minutes, she said once. 10 minutes felt like 10 seconds. I'll come back tomorrow, Laura promised. Tomorrow didn't always come. Susan sat beside me on those days. She's tired, sweetheart. I know, I thought. So am I. Laura talked about loneliness more. I eat dinner alone, she said. I sleep alone. You're not alone, I begged silently. She didn't hear. I miss conversations, Laura said. I miss being seen. I was watching every second. Mark's chair scraped closer to her. You're strong, Mark told her. Ryan always said that. Laura laughed without humor. Ryan said a lot of things. That laugh scared me. Arguments filled the room. You're moving on, David accused. I'm surviving, Laura shot back. Susan whispered, he might wake up. Laura replied, and what if he never does? The room went quiet. My hope cracked. Laura cried differently now. Not loud sobs. Quiet tears meant for herself. I'm exhausted, Laura admitted one night. I don't recognize my life. I don't either, I thought. Mark touched her shoulder. You deserve support, Mark said. Laura didn't pull away. That burned. Weeks blurred. 5 years, a nurse whispered to another. 5 years trapped inside my skull. Laura came less. When she did, her phone stayed in her hand. I have to take this, she said, stepping away. I listened to her voice change outside. Lighter. Free. She returned smiling, then noticed me. Oh, Laura said. Sorry. Sorry for smiling. That hurt more than anger. Susan noticed too. You're different, Susan told her. Laura snapped. You don't know what this costs me. David said, we lost a son. Laura replied, I lost a husband. I wanted to shout, I'm still here. Nobody answered. Mark's name came up more. Mark helped me reorganize everything, Laura said. He understands pressure. Mark replied gently, Ryan trusted me. Yes, Laura said. He did. I wanted to take that trust back. One day Laura didn't come. No apology. No excuse. Just absence. My chest burned with panic. She didn't call, I thought. Something's wrong. Susan came instead. She needed space, Susan said, forcing calm. Space felt like abandonment. Days passed. Then weeks. Laura returned thinner, quieter. I'm sorry, she said. I needed time. I waited, I thought. I always wait. She didn't touch my hand. I don't know who I am anymore, Laura whispered. You're my wife, I wanted to say. Her eyes stayed distant. Mark stood beside her again. I'll stay, Mark said. You should rest. Laura nodded. Thank you. She left with him. Their footsteps faded together. The door closed. Machines hummed. That was when it settled in my bones. Love doesn't die loudly. Love fades quietly, one missed visit at a time. I was still breathing. Still thinking. Still loving. But somewhere outside this room, Laura's love was learning how to live without me. I woke to whispers near my bed. Did you hear about room 12? A nurse asked. Another voice laughed softly. The Coma guy? That one, the first nurse said. His wife is pregnant. The words punched through me. Poor man, the second nurse said. 10 years and this happens. My chest burned. Pregnant. I screamed inside. That's impossible. Apparently not, the first nurse replied. Doctor confirmed it yesterday. Their footsteps faded. I lay there shaking, trapped, counting breaths I couldn't take on my own. No, I thought. Laura wouldn't. I replayed her visits. The distance. The excuses. The silence. It's stress, Laura used to say. Life is heavy. I believed her. She wouldn't, I repeated. She promised. The door opened later. Ryan, Mark said quietly. Just me today. My heart raced. I'll sit for a minute, Mark added. Laura needed rest. Rest from what? Mark's phone rang. Yeah, Mark said. I'm at the hospital. He turned slightly away. No, she doesn't know I'm here. My thoughts screamed. Of course it's mine, Mark said. Whose else would it be? The room spun. She needed comfort, Mark continued. You know how lonely she was. I wanted to tear my body apart. He was already gone, Mark said calmly. Breathing doesn't mean living. My ears rang. I didn't plan it, Mark said. It just happened. I'm not abandoning her, Mark said. I'll take responsibility. Responsibility for my wife. Ryan trusted me, Mark said. That's the hardest part. I trusted you. Mark sighed. I never thought he'd hear this. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to kill him. Mark ended the call and sat beside my bed. You always were strong, Mark said softly. Even now. Shut up. Laura cried for years, Mark continued. I was just there. There where I should have been. She deserves happiness, Mark said. You'd want that. I wanted justice. Mark stood. I'll check on you tomorrow. Don't come back. The door closed. Silence crushed me. She's pregnant, I thought. With his child. My memories attacked me. Laura holding my hand. Laura calling me baby. Mark promising to protect us. Every smile felt poisoned. I was alive, I thought. I am alive. Rage boiled until it scared me. I trusted you both, I thought. I gave you everything. Tears burned behind unmoving eyes. I heard every visit, I told the ceiling. Every lie. I imagined Laura's belly growing. Another man's child. My name erased. I won't disappear, I swore silently. If I wake up, I promised, I will reclaim my life. I will take back my name. I will remember this pain. The machines kept humming. My body stayed still. But something inside me hardened. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was waiting. A nurse returned. Open your eyes, she said gently. They're open, I thought. We'll clean him up, she told someone. Cold cloth touched my face. Sorry, she whispered. Talking helps. Talk all you want, I begged. Just listen. Laura's voice echoed from memory. I can't do this alone, Laura had said. You're not alone, I answered inside. Mark's words replayed. Already gone. I wasn't gone. I was watching. I counted ceiling tiles. I counted lies. I counted promises breaking. Another nurse spoke outside. Mark Caldwell pays the bills now, she said. Good man, another replied. I hated how calm he sounded. He visits often, the nurse said. He cares, the other answered. Care tasted bitter. I remembered meetings. Mark smiling. Mark shaking my hand. Partners, Mark used to say. Partners don't steal lives. I imagined screaming. I imagined standing. I imagined walking out. Wake up, I told myself. Wake up and burn this lie down. My chest felt heavy. My heart felt sharp. I spoke inside the silence. Laura, I thought, why? No answer came. Only machines. Only time. I repeated my vow. I will wake up. I will remember. I will not forgive. The room felt smaller. Air felt thin. Hope felt dangerous. A doctor spoke softly. Brain activity remains, he said. Then there's hope, Susan's voice said. Hope hurt. David's voice shook. Son, don't give up. I won't, I answered silently. But anger stayed louder. Mark's laugh haunted me. Laura's silence haunted me. The child haunted me. Mine, Mark had said. Not yours. Never yours. I repeated names like armor. Ryan Walker. My life. My wife. My future. Nothing answered. Just waiting. Just listening. Just remembering. I turned pain into fuel. I sharpened it. I stored it. If my eyes ever opened, the truth would follow. If my voice ever returned, lies would end. I made one final promise. I will reclaim everything. The machine stayed steady. The silence stayed loud. I stayed awake. I stayed angry. I stayed alive. That mattered. I counted heartbeats. I counted breaths. I counted seconds. Each one carried me forward. I pictured sunlight. I pictured movement. I pictured freedom. This isn't over, I told myself. Not even close. Darkness listened. And waited. I refused to fade. I refused to forget. I refused to forgive. This bed was not my grave. This silence was not my end. I held on to that truth. I held on to myself. I waited. I listened. I survived. The story was not finished yet. Neither was I. I stayed. I endured. I remembered everything. And I prepared for the day I would rise. That day would change everything forever. For me. For good. Always. I opened my eyes to lights that burned like fire. Mr. Walker? A nurse asked softly. I blinked rapidly, every movement heavy, every breath unfamiliar. I'm awake, I thought. Yes, the nurse said. Welcome back. I tried to speak. My throat was dry. My voice came out hoarse, barely a whisper. Good, the nurse smiled. Doctors will be here. Footsteps approached. Familiar voices. My parents. David Walker's voice cracked. Ryan. Oh my God. Susan Walker sobbed beside him. We thought we lost you forever. I wanted to reach for them. I wanted to hug them. My arms refused. My legs refused. My body felt like stone. You're alive, David whispered. You're really alive. I am, I thought, forcing calm. I am. Doctors came next. 10 years, one said. It's a miracle. I imagined the headlines. The impossible story. My mind raced faster than my body. Everything seems fine, another doctor said. You're cognitively sharp. Physically, though, we need therapy. Therapy. Movement. Strength. My prison had changed shape, but I was still trapped. A nurse handed me water. I sipped slowly, tasting life for the first time in a decade. Can I see her? I thought, swallowing hard. Laura? No one answered. The room smelled different. My parents' eyes begged me to speak. You need rest, Susan said softly. You've been through a lot. I nodded inside. Rest, I thought. Yes, rest and watch. Later, flowers arrived. A card on the table. Mark Caldwell. Sorry I couldn't visit sooner, Mark's handwriting read. Glad you're awake. Thinking of you. I clenched my jaw. Anger simmered. Not rage. Betrayal disguised as care. Laura? I asked in my thoughts. Silence. No footsteps. No familiar voice. I learned slowly. Conversations overheard from nurses. A child named Jason. Laura remarried. Life moved on without me. The chest burned with betrayal, but I restrained it. No outburst. Observation only. A nurse helped me sit upright. Your muscles are weak. It'll take time. I nodded. I know, I thought. I have. David Walker said, everything's changed. The world, it's different. I looked around. Machines beeped differently. Phones in the hall looked advanced. Screens glowed with new technology. Faces of nurses were younger than I remembered. The world had aged me 10 years. I hadn't moved an inch. Susan Walker whispered, you're still the same boy we knew inside. I held on to that. My mind was intact. My thoughts sharp. The body was just slow. Temporary weakness. Days passed. Visits were short. Mark came more often than Laura. He smiled too easily. Too casually. You're awake, Mark said once, chest-up view from his seat. Good to see you moving. Moving, I thought, just my mind. Everything is stable, Mark continued. The company is running fine. I nodded inside. Fine for him, I thought. Not for me. Laura did not appear. No apology, no guilt, no tear-stained face. Just silence. I remembered every word I overheard 10 years ago. Every lie. Every betrayal. Every broken promise. I forced calm. I pretended ignorance. I observed. I listened. You need patience, a therapist said gently. Strength comes slowly. I wanted to scream. I wanted to rush. I wanted revenge. But no. Observation first. Patience. Learning. I tested my voice. Weak, hoarse, barely audible. I whispered, I'm still here. The therapist smiled. Good. That's progress. I forced another thought. I will remember everything. I will wait. The world outside moved on faster than I could. Faces aged, children grew, technology advanced. But I stayed. Watching. Learning. Waiting. Mark visited again. "You've got a long recovery ahead," he said casually, smiling. I did not flinch. I did not respond. I pretended. Calm. Observant. No one knew I heard everything. The child, the promises, the lies. I counted every day, every movement, every word from the visitors. Every sound became information. Every silence became a clue. I am alive, I thought. I am aware. I am waiting. Laura did not come. Not yet. Maybe never. The fire inside burned quietly. Observation. Patience. Strength. Rebuilding. I whispered to the ceiling, I am alive. I'm not gone. And when the time comes, I will act. My body was weak, but my mind was sharp. My eyes open. My thoughts alive. I did not scream. I did not cry. I waited. I watched. And I swore silently, 10 years of silence fueling 10 more of preparation. I would reclaim my life. Step by step. Breath by breath. Thought by thought. The world had moved on. I had survived. And I would rise. I overheard laughter before I saw anything. "Dad, look," a boy shouted. Jason. The name hit me like ice. "Mark, watch this," the boy said, spinning a toy car. Mark Caldwell laughed. "Great job, Jason. You're getting better every day." My chest tightened. I wanted to scream, to yell, to make someone pay for every word I'd ever overheard. But I stayed still. "Watch. Listen." Jason called. "Dad, can we go outside?" "Sure," Mark replied. "Let's grab your shoes first." The boy ran past the nurse's station, his laughter echoing down the hall. I hated the lies. I didn't hate him. Not the child. Not yet. A nurse passed by. "Room 6, she said. "Your new session." I felt the shift in my body, the weakness, but I wanted to move. I wanted to act. I couldn't. Emma Brooks entered, clipboard in hand. "Good morning, Ryan." I tried to speak. My voice cracked inside. "Good morning," I thought. Emma smiled. "Let's start easy. Can you move your fingers for me?" I obeyed the thought. A twitch. One finger lifted. Her eyes lit up. "Yes. That's progress." Progress, I thought, savoring the word. A human acknowledging me. Not a ghost. Emma adjusted my arm gently. "Don't strain yourself. One step at a time." I studied her. Calm, firm, kind. I could trust her. No hidden motives. No lies. Just guidance. "Ryan," Emma said softly, "I know this is frustrating, but your mind is strong. Your body will catch up." I wanted to scream. My body has to catch up to more than that. My life, my wife, my trust, everything moved on without me. I kept silent. Observation first. Patience second. Strategy third. Hours passed. Or minutes. Time had no meaning anymore. The door opened quietly. "Laura." I froze. Heart thundering. 10 years of betrayal condensed into a single moment. "Ryan," she whispered. I didn't respond. I couldn't. My body was weak. My mind screamed. She approached slowly. Eyes downcast. Hands twisted in her lap. "Laura," I thought, "look at me. See the man you left trapped." She didn't. Silence. Louder than screams. I wanted to come sooner," she said finally. Voice trembling. I didn't know how. I remembered the lies. The pregnancy. The flowers. Mark smiling like a hero. Every detail I heard replayed like knives. Emma's hand rested lightly on mine. Ryan breathed. "You're doing well." I appreciated her presence. Anchor. Safe. A bridge to reality I could trust. Laura knelt beside the bed. "I know I failed you." I cut her off silently. My mind screamed. "Failed me? No. You replaced me. Completely." She flinched, not knowing I heard every thought. Not knowing my awareness had never left. "Ryan," she tried again. I imagined shouting. Screaming. But I stayed silent. Observation first. Control second. Patience always. Emma smiled faintly, noticing my tension. "Ryan, I can feel your frustration. Let it out slowly. One thought at a time." I let a breath escape inside. The muscles stiffened, the heart raced. I wasn't calm. I was alive. That mattered. Laura finally met my eyes. Just for a second. Fear, guilt, shame reflected in those familiar irises. "Jason," she whispered. "He calls Mark Dad." The words didn't hit like knives. They hit like frost, cold and final. I could have hated her. I could have hated Mark. I didn't hate the boy. Jason deserved love, a father, a family. I hated the lies that built that world while I was trapped. Laura looked away. I didn't want you to see. See, I thought. I've seen everything. Every visit. Every smile. Every lie. Emma squeezed my hand lightly. You're strong. You're aware. That awareness is power, Ryan. I replayed memories. Laura holding my hand. Her voice soft. My trust in Mark unwavering. Every promise, every moment now turned brittle. You think I could forgive? I asked silently. Could I ever forgive? Emma's eyes held mine. Revenge won't heal you, Ryan. You decide if it destroys you or fuels you. I wanted to hate her advice. I wanted to throw my awareness against the walls. But her calmness anchored me. Observation first. Revenge second. Strategy third. Laura finally rose. I'll come back, she whispered, stepping toward the door. I need time. I didn't move. Didn't speak. Didn't respond. I watched her go. Emma guided my arm gently. We'll continue therapy tomorrow. Focus on what you can control. I control everything I see, I thought. Everything I hear. Everything I plan. The door closed. Silence returned. The machines hummed softly. My chest ached. My mind raced. I hated Laura. I hated Mark. I hated the betrayal. I didn't hate Jason. I breathed deeply. Anchored to reality by Emma. Observation first. Patience always. I rehearsed my vow silently. If I move, if I speak, if I wake fully, I will reclaim my life. Every part that was stolen. Every truth I've learned. Every lie I've endured. I counted my breaths. I counted my resolve. Emma smiled gently. You're doing well. Yes, I thought. I am. For the first time in 10 years I am alive. Laura's footsteps faded down the hall. Her absence burned. Her silence haunted. I remained still. Watching. Waiting. Planning. The betrayal had built a new world. A family. A life. But I was awake. I would observe. I would endure. I would reclaim. Step by step. Breath by breath. Thought by thought. Observation first. Everything else later. Emma Brooks entered the room, clipboard in hand. Ready for today's session, Ryan? I nodded inside. My fingers twitched slightly, the tiniest movement I could muster. Observation first. Patience always. Good, Emma said. We'll start with your arms. As she guided my movements, I listened. Not just to her, but to everything around me. Conversations, whispers, phone calls. I could catch it all now. Later, a delivery came. Papers. Files. Mark Caldwell's signature on top. What's this? I thought. My chest tightened. Emma glanced. Looks like your files from the office, Ryan. Maybe for memory exercises? Memory exercises. I laughed inside. The papers proved everything. Every idea I'd pitched, every strategy, every document Mark had copied, signed, and taken as his own. My empire. My work. Stolen. Ryan, Emma said gently, you're looking tense. I saw everything, I thought, flexing my weak fingers. All of it. Weeks passed. Emma guided therapy with patience. She believed in me. She treated me like a human, not a ghost. I began to reconnect with the world outside. Not fully awake yet, but enough to plan. One afternoon, Emma spoke softly. I can help you reconnect with someone. Old contacts. They might assist legally or emotionally. I thought carefully. Yes, Daniel Reed. Lawyer. Friend. Emma nodded. I'll make arrangements. Days later, a phone call came. I whispered my thoughts. Daniel. It's Ryan. I need your help. Daniel Reed's voice was familiar. Ryan? Is that really you? Yes. I need advice. Discreetly. Of course, Daniel said. We'll meet. Don't worry. I felt a spark I hadn't felt in 10 years. Connection. Power. Possibility. Meanwhile, Mark Caldwell continued to visit. Always smiling. Always calm. Always confident. You're moving well today, Ryan, Mark said once. Chest up view from the chair beside me. Don't strain yourself. You're still recovering. I nodded inside. Yes. Weak. Harmless. Observation first. I studied him. The cracks were forming. Small at first. A phone call he ended abruptly. A meeting canceled. A ledger misplaced. I imagined his stress building. Every stolen idea, every falsified document, I held the evidence. Patience. Control. Emma noticed my gaze. Planning something? I smiled faintly inside. Strategy. Not anger. Laura came by occasionally. Avoided my eyes. Hands fidgeting. Her presence reminded me of Mark's lies. Her guilt. Her silence. Observation was key. No emotion yet. Not for her. One evening, I overheard Mark speaking on the phone. Yes, the audit, don't worry. Everything can be smoothed over. Just make sure Ryan doesn't realize yet. He's still fragile. I clenched my jaw. My body weak but my mind sharp. Fragile? That was perfect. My advantage. Emma entered. Everything okay? Yes, I thought. Fine. Observation first. Patience. Daniel Reed met me next. Ryan, the evidence you have, it's solid. You could ruin him. Every document, every idea yours. I imagined revenge. Exposing Mark. Publicly. Financial ruin. Humiliation. Satisfaction. Do it, Daniel said quietly. You have the leverage. I closed my eyes inside. Do it? I thought. A child involved. Jason. Innocent. Could I destroy that? Daniel's voice continued. You can control the timing. You can decide what happens. I nodded inside. Patience over impulse. Intelligence over anger. Observation first. Everything else later. Mark continued to believe I was weak. He laughed at jokes I didn't hear. He commented on strategy sessions he thought I couldn't remember. I nodded politely inside. Weak. Harmless. Blind. Meanwhile, small leaks of his empire's instability emerged. Investigations. Financial stress. Laura's guilt showing in subtle ways. Emotional cracks. Emma-guided therapy keeping me grounded. Ryan's strength comes in many forms. Observation is power too. I flexed my fingers slowly. Observation, I whispered inside. And patience. Control. Timing. One day Mark leaned in casually. You'll recover fully, Ryan? Soon you'll be back at the office. Yes, I thought. Soon I'll decide how. Soon everything will shift. Laura passed by later, stopping for a brief glance. Avoided my eyes. I didn't react. I pretended weakness. She had to think I was still fragile, still dependent. Emma smiled gently. You're doing well. Remember, slow and steady. I breathed. I counted my resolve. I reminded myself. Intelligence over anger. Patience over impulse. Observation first. Everything else second. Daniel Reed contacted me again. Ryan, Mark's empire is already shaky. With your documents, your ideas, everything he built, it can crumble if we act carefully. I nodded inside. Carefully. Slowly. Wait. Mark's visits continued. He spoke freely. Boasted casually. Laughed. Smiled. Unaware. I let him believe I was harmless. Weak. Silent. Still trapped. Still recovering. Emma Brooks held my hand gently. You're strong, Ryan? Inside always. Yes, I thought. Stronger than they imagine. I counted every visit, every conversation, every opportunity. The cracks widened. Mark's confidence faltered subtly. Laura's guilt showed. Jason's innocence remained untouched. I remained patient. Calculating. Waiting. Observation first. Intelligence second. Action later. The power shift had begun. Slowly. Quietly. Invisibly. I would not act rashly. I would not ruin innocence. I would control everything. Mark believed he was untouchable. He was wrong. The first whispers of his empire's fragility reached my ears, and I smiled inside, because soon I would rise fully. The waiting, the patience, the observation, all of it would pay off. Every stolen idea, every falsified document, every lie Mark built his life upon, I held the key to unravel it. Not yet. Not impulsively. But soon. The office screens were flashing chaos. Mark Caldwell paced in front of his desk, phone pressed to his ear. No, that's impossible. How could the audit show this? I lay in the hospital bed, chest up view, eyes sharp despite weakness. Observation first. Patience always. Emma Brooks glanced at me. Looks like news reached him. Yes, I thought. Everything crumbles. On the phone, Mark's voice rose slightly. You don't understand. I can fix this. I wanted to smile. Fix. For 10 years he fixed everything for himself. Now, karma. A nurse passed. Mr. Walker, there's a visitor. Laura Walker. My chest tightened. Her presence alone could burn a hole through my calm. Ryan, she whispered, voice trembling. I didn't move. Didn't speak. Didn't flinch. My mind did all the work. Observation first. I know I should have come sooner, she said, tears streaking her cheeks. I'm so sorry. I stared silently. Observation first, I thought. Patience. Laura sank into the chair beside me. Laura, I finally thought, letting the words form inside. I heard everything. Every visit. Every word. Every lie. Her body stiffened. She gasped. You knew? Yes, I thought. Every moment. Every secret. Tears poured freely. I didn't mean for it to happen. I needed comfort. Needed Mark, I whispered silently. I heard every word. She shook violently. Ryan, I'm so sorry. Please, forgive me. I didn't respond. Not aloud. Not yet. Silence became louder than screams. I was lonely, she sobbed. I couldn't, you were gone. I breathed slowly, counting. Patience first. Revenge later. Observation always. Mark never planned to stay loyal, I thought. You knew that. Her body collapsed slightly. I thought he loved me. I thought. You thought, I finished silently. You thought wrong. Her breakdown was raw. Devastating. The room shook with it. Not physically but emotionally. I never wanted to hurt you, she whispered. I thought you were gone forever. 10 years. I wanted to scream. I wanted to rage. I wanted to throw her into the wall. But I stayed still. Observation. Patience. Control. Emma Brooks' hand rested lightly on mine. Ryan, breathe. You're doing well. I did. Slowly. Counting every breath. Every heartbeat. Every tear. Laura cried. The phone rang again. Mark. Of course. Ryan. Please. His voice wavered. I never meant. I ignored him. I didn't need to speak. Karma didn't knock. It crashed. The empire he built on stolen ideas, lies, and manipulation was collapsing without my hand moving. Mark? Laura whispered, finally lifting her gaze. I didn't know. I didn't answer. Didn't flinch. Didn't forgive. Observation first. Let her feel the weight. The media was everywhere. Headlines, Caldwell Corp under investigation. Stolen ideas revealed. CEO's lies exposed. I smiled inside. Quietly. Satisfaction. Not joy. Not hatred. Just balance restored. Mark's office became a war zone. Calls shouting legal threats. Nothing I touched. Nothing I did. Pure consequence. Laura's sobs softened. Her guilt deepened. Ryan. I can't. You can't what? I thought. Undo 10 years? Undo betrayal? Undo silence? Her body shook. I was wrong. I'm so sorry. I allowed one thought aloud in my mind. I heard everything. 10 years. Every secret. Every lie. Her knees buckled slightly. Tears streaked down her face. Ryan, forgive me. Please. I didn't move. Didn't speak. Didn't beg. Silence. She felt it in every inch of the room. Every heartbeat. Every word unspoken. I thought I could. I thought I was doing right, she whispered, collapsing further into her chair. Observation first. I breathed slowly. Let the silence speak. Mark called again. Ryan, please. I can explain. I imagined laughing. But I didn't. Karma was working without me. He didn't need me to lift a finger. The office leaked more news. Financial stress, lawsuits, investigations. His employees whispered behind closed doors. His pride shattered. Laura looked up at me, face streaked with tears, guilt, and despair. I never wanted. You wanted comfort, I thought. At my expense. At truth's expense. 10 years. She gasped, realizing the weight. Ryan. I closed my eyes inside. Let her see my silence. Let her feel every year she abandoned me. Every moment she betrayed my trust. Emma Brooks guided my hand gently. Ryan, the weight is heavy. You're handling it well. Yes, I thought. Observation first. Just a second. Patience always. Mark's voice broke again over the phone. Ryan. I'm sorry. Truly. I didn't respond. Karma didn't wait for apologies. It crashed. Laura's sobs filled the room. Real. Devastating. She looked small, vulnerable. Broken. I heard everything, I thought. Every lie. Every secret. Every stolen moment. She whimpered. Ryan. I don't know how to fix anything. Fix. I thought. No. Observation. Patience. The rest unfolds itself. The machines hummed. Emma Brooks' presence grounded me. Calm, supportive, real. I breathed slowly, counting. 10 years of silence, 10 years of awareness, 10 years of betrayal, all culminating in this moment. No screams. No shouts. No rage. Only truth. Laura's guilt, Mark's collapse, Jason's innocence, all untouched by me. Justice arrived. Pure. Silent. I didn't need to lift a finger. I opened my eyes. Calm. Focused. Alive. Observing. Patient. I saw everything, I thought. And now, everything will answer itself. Laura's tears fell. Mark's empire crumbled. Karma didn't knock. It crashed. And I watched. I watched the courtroom from my wheelchair, chest-up view, muscles weak but mind sharp. Mark Caldwell sat at the defense table, pale and tense. Lawyers spoke quickly, papers rustling, voices rising and falling. I didn't need to hear everything. I already knew. Emma Brooks leaned close. Ryan, you're doing fine. Just observe. Yes, I thought. Observation first. Patience always. The judge's gavel slammed. Mr. Caldwell, you are found guilty on all counts. Mark's face went white. I imagined his fury, his panic. Justice, I thought. Silent. Clean. Laura Walker sat in the back, hands clenched in her lap, eyes hollow. I wanted to say something, but I didn't. Observation first. Let her feel the weight. After the session, Laura approached cautiously. Ryan. I lost everything. Yes, I thought. You lost it all. Except regret. I can't undo it. I can't fix it. I hurt you. Laura, I thought, calm. I heard everything for 10 years. Every lie. Every moment. I don't need apologies. Her shoulders shook. Ryan, I was wrong. You were, I thought. But surviving wasn't about revenge. Not for me. It's about reclaiming myself. Tears rolled down her face. I never realized, until it was too late. Observation first, I reminded myself. Patience. Everything else falls into place. Mark Caldwell was led away in handcuffs. Prison. Consequence. Clean. Silent. I didn't need to yell. I didn't need to gloat. The world had balanced itself. Emma Brooks held my hand lightly. Ryan, you did it. You stayed strong. Yes, I thought. I survived. Not by destroying, but by outliving the betrayal. Laura's eyes met mine briefly. Ryan. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't respond. Silence carried more weight than words. She crumbled inwardly, facing the truth she avoided for years. I turned my gaze outward. Fresh air through the open window. Sunlight on my face. Freedom. Emma smiled. Ready to go? Yes, I thought. Freedom, finally. Outside, the city moved on. Faces I didn't know. Streets I hadn't seen in a decade. Technology advanced, buildings changed. But I was alive. I had survived. I breathed in deeply. Each breath a reminder of strength, patience, and resilience. Emma looked at me. Ryan, are you okay? Yes, I thought. Better than okay. I'm whole again. No anger. No hatred. Just peace. She squeezed my hand. I'll stay by your side. Not as a savior, but as a partner. I smiled faintly inside. Emma, you understand. You're real. Steady. Honest. Laura's figure faded behind us. Empty hands, empty heart, regret written on her face. I didn't need to look back. Mark's empire was gone. He faced prison. Legal consequences, public humiliation. Karma had done its job. I didn't lift a finger. I didn't need to. I rolled down the hospital ramp, chest-up view in full sunlight, the wind brushing against my face. Weak muscles, yes. But my mind sharp. My heart alive. Ryan, are you nervous? Emma asked softly. No, I thought. Not nervous. Alive. Free. Everything else is secondary. We walked slowly, step by step. Each one a victory. Not over Mark. Not over Laura. But over the 10 years of betrayal, silence, and helplessness. I remembered the crash. The coma. The years trapped inside my body. I remembered the lies, the secrets, the stolen life. And yet here I was. Alive. Free. Observant. Oh. Ryan, what now? Emma asked. I thought carefully. Now we live. Carefully. Fully. Honestly. She smiled. That sounds perfect. I watched the city bustling, vibrant. Life moving forward, indifferent to the pain it carried. And I moved forward too, carrying my scars, my awareness, and my strength. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to destroy anyone. Outliving the betrayal, reclaiming myself, and choosing peace, that was victory enough. Laura would remember regret. Mark would remember justice. I would remember survival. The sun set gently, warm tones reflecting off the buildings. I inhaled deeply. Strength. Patience. Life. Emma's hand tightened slightly in mine. Ryan, we face the future together? Yes, I thought. Together. Real. Honest. Alive. I looked forward, chest rising with each breath. Free from hatred. Free from anger. Free from the past. The city stretched out endlessly before me. Possibilities. Life. Peace. I had survived. That was enough. I had reclaimed myself. No one could take that. And for the first time in 10 years I smiled fully.